everyone, it's MK. Welcome back to MK Quilts for my weekly live feed. Now, just as I say those words, I was thinking over the weekend, you know what? I don't think I did a live feed last week. Oh my gosh, I have been so busy. So last week I was busy prepping for my little weekend getaway. I was down just in Florida here, but I was a little bit south of where I'm at right now, doing a really super fun event. So let me just tell you about my weekend because I just had so much fun. So I went down to Sarasota area on Friday to meet up with a friend of mine who she is a quilting follower, but she's also a distributor of mine with my Senegence business, and we had decided to hook up and play makeup for a little bit and then go stay overnight, go to a quilt shop. So down in the Sarasota area of Florida, there is a very large Amish community, and I was really kind of unaware of this, and so we went. First of all, she checked us into this hotel. It's a brand new hotel in Sarasota, and the whole hotel is like decorated with quilts, antique quilts. The floor mats are like all decorated like quilting designs. The little placards by the door that tell you what room you're in, those are all like they look like little quilts. There was hand-pieced quilts up on the wall. The food in the little dining room was amazing. Staffed by Amish ladies who were bringing out the most amazing continental breakfast. You know, you go down, breakfast is on the hotel. Oh my gosh. So then, right across the parking lot from this hotel is this amazing, huge Amish style restaurant. So the food, again, there, amazing. In the upper level of this hotel, of the restaurant, is a huge like boutique. They sold all kinds of stuff. We just had the funnest time doing just dinner and looking and shopping in there. On the other side of the parking lot is this really awesome quilt shop. It's called Alma Sue's. So if you ever get to the Sarasota area of Florida, you want to check it out. It is a full-on quilt shop, but it was started, and I do believe it's still owned by an Amish family. And when you go in and you turn to the right, and there is just normally going to be a few ladies sitting around an old style quilting frame, hand quilting. And then they have some of the most gorgeous quilts up in their shop that have been all hand quilted and just absolutely amazing. So that is what I was doing on Friday. So Joya and I had a fantastic time together. So then we hopped in the car Saturday morning and we went on down to Englewood, Florida, and that is just outside of Port Charlotte. And I had, hey Kim and Jennifer, a couple of my students are on right now. I did a private in-home pro stitcher, right, with Focus on Simulation class at a private residence down there, and we just had such a great day together. Now, one of the things, you guys, I have talked about this so many other times, that when I go on the road, you know, and I teach, I basically teach my layout and rendering, all of that content that I have in my videos and that I sometimes cover on YouTube, little snippets of things on YouTube, not the full layout and rendering, but all of that stuff that's kind of special to me, the MK way, that is what I teach when I go on the road. Now, what was so awesome about Saturday, kind of two things. First of all, I had a lot of new quilters in class. Now, when I say new quilters, I mean like new to quilting and new to their machines. So they were just like so on fire to absorb it all and learn. And I know a lot of times, you guys, when I get going, I talk fast and I teach fast because I get so passionate and so, I love it. And I know that sometimes things go like, woo, and I have to slow down and repeat it, right? So we went at a much different pace on Saturday because we had, new people in class, and it was super, super fun. Just seeing them be like so excited to get back to their machines. So the other thing that was really exciting about it for me is that I had baby lock owners in my class. Okay, so just, like full on disclosure, I am a handy quilter girl. I'm a handy quilter retailer. But baby lock, their systems take the Pro Stitcher, right? And Pro Stitcher is it's the same on both of those systems or both of those machines. So what I wanted to say about that is that when I go out and teach, I teach in a Pro Stitcher capacity, okay? So if you know other baby lock owners, you can absolutely welcome them to join this group if they have Pro Stitcher, because it is the same software, okay? So I had baby lock owners in the room, I had handy quilter owners in the room, but we all use Pro Stitcher. So that was really fun. Okay, so if you know anybody or you have connections to other, groups out there that maybe are looking for training or whatnot with their Pro Stitchers, then send them my way, right? So for my ladies who are watching, thanks again for coming out, and a tidbit for you to watch for later today. I had promised one of you that I would do a little bit of video on how I crop at the end of the quilt, and so Mr. MK was here and he helped me hold the camera, and I did a little bit of videoing, and that is going to be just for you guys. Okay, so that's private. You had private instruction. I'm going to send you a private little video just as kind of a follow-up for what we did on Saturday, okay? And just as I'm talking, I think I may see Mr. MK pulling in. So if I get a little sidetracked and you hear the door opening, it'll be Paul and Samson. Okay, so that was my stuff over the weekend. Really, really fun. Okay, so what's coming up? In the way of teaching, just wanted to remind you that next month I am going to be up in Virginia. Okay, so I will be in Haymarket, Virginia on Monday, April the 23rd. Now, I am going to be up there again, it's going to be a private residence, and I'm super, super excited for this one because I am going to be with a new owner of mine, okay? And I'm not gonna call her out. If she wants to say who she is, that's fine. But she's a new owner that just bought her system from MK Quilts, and I am going up there for personalized, individual, private instruction with her because as a retailer, she is my customer and I am responsible for that. And we are gonna do a few days of just private stuff, her and I. But she has graciously offered to open her home on that Monday, April 23rd, so that if there's other owners in that area, hop on over to MK Quilts, sign up. It's going to be a small group. She has a small space, so space is going to be limited, and just sign on up and we will do, we'll do the MK way. We'll get the Pro Stitcher Sims running and I'll be teaching up there. Okay, so hop on over to MK Quilts for that. In May, I have 2 stops in May. I am going to be in Etched, Georgia. That is not going to be a Pro Stitcher stop, but that's just going to be a lecture and trunk show that I'm going to be doing. So if you have ladies or friends or whatever, that's going to be an open to the public. All of the details are on MK Quilts, and I'm going to be staying with a quilting friend up there. As I travel the rest of the way, so after Etched, I am going to be in Franklin, North Carolina, and that is going to be a Pro Stitcher class. That is going to be at the shop. Another retailer is hosting me for that. So you're going to have to register on their website for that one. Okay, so that is Walker Quilt Company. Okay, so look them up online, Franklin, North Carolina, and you can register for that day with them. Okay, now the other thing that I'm going to be doing while I'm in Franklin is, I posted about this right at the end of last week. I am going to be paying a visit to my dear friend and talented quilter and designer, Deb Heatherly. Okay, so I posted about the fact that she's got a new book coming out, and based on a new ruler that she developed. So it's all being released next month, and then in May I'm going to be I'm so thrilled to be able to go to her studio and visit with her for a little while I'm up in the Franklin, North Carolina area. And when I'm done with Deb, I'm actually going to another Pro Stitcher owner private session. So this is completely private, just her and I. But I wanted to mention it because I want to keep that in mind, you to keep that in mind, that if you would like me for, if you're willing to have me come to you, I am willing to do that and do that one-on-one and only one-on-one, or we can do a group thing like I many times do. Okay, so just always keep that in mind. All right, so that takes care of the first page, list number 1, right? I haven't been on last week until, now, so I've got a little bit longer list. All right, so let's see. I wanted to mention some of the things that are selling like hotcakes out of MK Quilts. So I really appreciate all your business, you guys. I've said it before, if you have a local retailer that you go to for your stuff, that's great. But, when you order from me, you're helping support us, me and Mr. MK, and what we're trying to do here. So I had mentioned a couple weeks ago that I sent a bunch of stuff back to Handy Quilter that was kind of overstocked, that I had ordered a bit too much for the quilt show, but I kept a few things back. All right, so some of the things that I have in stock right now, 1 extra set of the Echo feet, and we talked about the Echo foot at my class, and remember, I use that center size Echo foot for marking on my borders, okay? And I have a little YouTube video, I'll drop that below, works like a dream. All right, I have several, I think I have 4 or 5 of the Sure Foot. So I just decided to keep these in stock because I do sell these from time to time. So if you are a free motion quilter and you like ruler work, really, you guys, the Sure Foot is the way to go. Just protect your machine a little bit. You don't want your regular foot hopping up onto the rulers and busting your ruler and busting your needle and all of that. All right, now, the next thing is I have 1 left only, and I just ordered up and got into stock like a week ago, a dozen of the glide feet, which I had etched, and I have 1 left. Okay, so I think I kind of chalk it up to new owners. So many of you are bringing Amara's home, and you're new to this. So again, I will post that video that talks about why I like the etched version of the glide foot. And it's the Handy Quilter glide foot that I have had etched by another source, okay? So I have some of those. Now, I also have a couple of our handy hammocks left, and I decided to keep those. I have had some questions from people about whether the hammocks will fit on their frames. Okay, maybe they don't have a Handy Quilter frame. I have a lot of quilters that follow me that are not Handy Quilter owners, and that's wonderful. I welcome everybody. But a lot of times I'm not as familiar with your frames. So if you will send me a picture, I can kind of give you a maybe yes or a maybe no. Inside of the handy hammock, there is some instructions. From Handy Quilter about doing just a couple of adjustments or just a couple of changes to your frame to get it to fit. Now, those changes might not be exact on other frames, but there's probably a way to make it work. And it's really a slick thing. Keeps that batting up off the floor so it's not picking up all those threads and all of that. So again, just reach out to me and let me know if that's going to work, or if you want to know if it's going to work on your frame. And I'll give you the best advice I can. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I will try to give you some tips. Oops, I just dropped. The other thing that a lot of people ask me about and that are flying out of the doors here are the leader grips and the zippers and the side grips. Okay, so I keep loads of these in stock all the time. I love these side grips. Now, the zippers and the grips and the side grips, those should pretty much work on different types of quilting frames. Oh, I feel like my hair is like got a mind of its own today. So those should pretty much fit on different types of frames. Again, easiest thing for you to do, take a picture of your frame and send it to me. And then with the side grips, the thing that I need to know about the side grips is how much distance you actually have between your rails. Okay, so it's not necessarily your throat depth, it's the distance between your rails. And the side grips should work on any frame as long as I know that distance, okay? So that's that. The other thing, thread and batting, people are kind of picking up on the fact that they can get the thread and the batting. They can get a little bit of discount, and that goes directly to your door. So hop on over for that. And then the last thing that we just put up last week was pictures of these wide backings that I got in stock. Now again, you guys, that was kind of meant for my local clients, but so many of you have asked about it that we popped those pictures up there. The pictures aren't great. We know the pictures aren't great, but you kind of get a feel for it. And if you are interested in that, just reach out to me. I would like that to be 1 yard cuts minimum. What I have in stock are 3 yard cuts of 108 wide, okay? And we'll just see how that goes. If that's something that kind of catches on here at MK Quilts, then I'll start carrying more of that. I mean, I'm open to just about anything. So I'm kind of to the end of my list. That's what I've got going on here. Up and coming things, like I say, are those events in April and in May. And of course, I have other ones out there for the summertime, even I've already been talking about some people for events in the fall, maybe adding in a couple of more in the fall. So just head on over to MK Quilts, stay plugged in with me here, and get yourself signed up for the newsletter, and invite your friends to sign up for the newsletter, you guys. The newsletter is not specifically only long arm related. We put a lot of things in the newsletter, so it can be for just any quilters, piecers, long armers, people who do whatever kind of quilting. All right. Okay, so that's what I've got coming up. Let's show you what's on the frame, and then I got to get on out of here and keep working. Okay, over here on McFinity is this cute as can be lipstick quilt. And, I've talked about it before. The second part of my business here at MK Quilts is my Makeup and More with MK. And that is that lipstick quilt that I'm taking with me when I go to Tulsa next month. And it's just turning out so cute. Oh, and on that one, that pattern is called the 5 yard quilt. And I put a PDF of that. It's a free pattern. And I put the PDF in the files section of this group. There's one little error I forget if it's I think it's on one of the pictures. The picture is wrong with what size thing you're supposed to cut, but the cutting instruction is correct. So it's a very simple quilt. You'll be able to figure it out. Okay, over here on this side is a beautiful, I think these are either a combination of Kaffe Fassett fabrics, Amy Butler, something like that. Just kind of a cacophony of color going on there. It's just a half square triangle, kind of a chevron quilt, but it's really, really pretty. And then just wanted you guys to notice on this quilt, when I put it on the frame, it just spoke to me. It has those pretty light colors and pinks and orchid colors, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use some of my 80/20 Dream Pink batting. And just in case you don't know, Quilter's Dream sells this Dream Pink. It's an 80/20 blend, and a portion of the sales for the proceeds from that batting go to cancer research, breast cancer research, and those types of things. So, I looked at that quilt and I'm like, I know that my client would not mind if I used that 80/20 on there. Okay, you guys, thanks for joining me. Sorry I missed you last week, but I'm a busy gal, and so that's what I got going on. Catch me next week. I don't know what we'll be talking about next week, but I'll be with you sometime then. And as always, you guys, from my studio to yours, happy quilting. Have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye.